The difference 24 hours make. This is the infrared satellite picture. Bottom line, where you see the brilliant color, that's where it was northwest of us last night as the main event was still on the way. But notice where the color has gone. It's kind of split. One has turned north, and that's going to be a major stormy event for New England over the next 24 hours. The other portion has gone south, and that's exactly why overnight and then during the day today, Carl, which had been heading north, stuck with the forecast because the front pretty much was forecast well, has made the turn, is now headed south, and that same front pulling some dry air into it. Remember that happened with us and Ian as well, and this is now weakening Carl. So Carl will be a weakened tropical storm, but unfortunately it will be producing some flash flooding over southeastern Mexico, some areas, similar areas that were hit by Julia just a few days ago. But that's it as far as the tropics are concerned. So let's come back. Again, last night we saw those big thunderstorms northwest of us. It looked like the heaviest rains would hit the areas that needed it most, South Georgia. And in fact, St. Simons had record rainfall last night, but the storms weren't quite as strong as they were off to our northwest, thankfully. In fact, about 9 o'clock last night, a tornado did touch down southeast of Macon. That same thunderstorm complex made it eventually on down to our counties of southeastern Georgia, but fortunately, no reports of any widespread damage. And now those thunderstorms are way down south over South Florida, and if anything, continuing to gradually move away from us. The cool front is just beginning to drop in, and we thought there might be a couple isolated thunderstorms develop. They have over western and now central Putnam County, so think Interlochen and then probably will graze you folks around Palatka and eventually make it onto Flagler County as well. Might see a couple more develop right east of out toward the Intracoastal and Duval, out toward the beaches and down south. Talking about brief, but just want to let you know they're out there until the drier air makes it here. Where's the drier air? We'll look at the dew point almost into the 50s at Waycross, and that's really what I think you're going to feel most tomorrow, is that yes, the temperatures won't be as warm, but the drier air on the way. By the way, this is the coldest air so far this year driving into the Midwest, and that's going to be reinforced later in the week. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's talk about the next couple of days. So here comes the front, and that front's going to start to slow down over central Florida. So tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, South Florida especially is going to stay cloudy and wet, but high pressure is going to just barely make it into the first coast, and that's going to set us up, as Jessica alluded to, for what I think is going to be a weekend that you will like. Here's another way to verify that. So this is looking at potential precipitation, how much moisture is on the ground all the way up to 30,000 feet. A lot of moisture. This purple, drier air, and notice that just kind of gradually edges in at least to what we call the first coast. Those are our counties here, whereas that moisture stays down south, at least through the weekend. So for tomorrow, again, a cool breeze, even though back up to 80, not as humid as it was today after morning lows of 59 degrees. St. John's, the estuaries, the creek, still pretty high. That's why we continue to follow the tides. There's the beach, there's downtown, and there's Palatka. But again, all of that watershed of the St. John's, we call it, will continue to gradually drop. Temperatures on Saturday morning will drop in some inland areas into the lower and middle 50s. Afternoon high is 79, lots of sunshine, so I think you're going to call it classic October weather. Pretty nice on Sunday as well, wherever you decide to spend your time. And if that's not cool enough, check out next Wednesday and Thursday. We may see lows in the 40s.